everyone, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. So continuing off with the Christmas items still, we're going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Dominion Massive Action Ampelosaurus. So this is another new obscure species that Mattel has brought into the Dominion toy line. This is in fact a real sauropod species. Again, this is a new sauropod called Ampelosaurus, which I think was famous for having armored scutes and osteoderms all over its back. So this is really cool. A really cool species overall. Not one I know too much about, but I definitely recognize the name and the look of it. So this is really cool. Really nice sauropod altogether, and I can't wait to get a closer look at it. So taking a look at the packaging here, you got your normal, typical Dominion packaging with some images of what the figure does and a bunch of logos and the dinosaur name. But that's pretty much it for at least the front part of the packaging. We've been kind of seeing this for a while now. Here on the back of the packaging, it shows you the render of the animal. It says it has total neck attack and a chomp, so jaw articulation on another sauropod. That's really cool. And then you can see that the Yang Tyrannosaurus is another dinosaur available, which I've reviewed in my channel a while back, so check that out if you haven't. But yeah, it's a really great figure overall. Let's go ahead and take this out of the box and take a closer look at it. Everyone, here we have the Ampelosaurus out of the box. Like I said, this is a really nice looking sauropod species that Mattel has brought in, and it's a very, very detailed one at that. And again, it's a very, I guess, obscure species too, because, you know, not many people really know what Ampelosaurus was. And I think Mattel, like I said with the Sinotyrannus, is really good at bringing in all these obscure species. You know, just wanted to cover that again. But yeah, this figure looks really great. I'm loving the silhouette of it. The colors are looking nice and the detail, but we'll get into more depth with that during the review. One thing I will say I can point out just by looking at it, I can even tell within the box too, is that the tail is definitely a little too short and less proportionate to like the rest of the body. I mean, the neck is supposed to be short, right? But the tail, I think should have been a little longer, and I think it was during like the concept artwork that Mattel was doing to create this toy, and the tail was definitely longer and actually featured some more paint at the tip of it. So don't know why Mattel didn't continue with this final product of the figure, but either way, I think it looks really good for at least what it is for right now. So taking a look at the detail here, we'll start here at the head. You know, it's a nice sauropod-like head. It very reminds me of Camarasaurus a little bit. For those of you who know Camarasaurus or who may not know about Camarasaurus, it's a type of sauropod that lived during the Jurassic period, and had a head shape very similar to this, and it also had a slightly shorter neck when you're comparing it to like other sauropods like Diplodocus or Brachiosaurus. But I don't know, the head just really reminds me of that. I believe Ampelosaurus was a Titanosaur. I think that might be what it is. Titanosaurs also had like these hefty looks to them, and the shorter, more muscular necks and the round, boxy looking heads. So I could be wrong, but either way, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Ampelosaurus other than the fact that it's like one of the only few sauropods that I think contain armor all over its body. So that's really cool. Very unique look for a sauropod. But anyways, back to the head. You know, it's very nicely sculpted. You got just more of like this line textured work across the head here, and a nice big bulgy spot right here. Could be an air sac, or it could be just like the edge of where the bone hits. You know, like I said, very similar to like Brachiosaurus or Camarasaurus. One thing I can point out is that I don't see any nostrils on this figure. That might be them right there, like that hole in between this grayish color. That might be them sculpted. I can't say for sure, but I don't see it anywhere else on the figure. Here at the bottom of the jaw, some more just line texture. And you got a few bumps starting on the top of the head, so that's where like all these bumps and osteoderms start. And looking on this side, yeah, I can't tell if there is a nostril or not. There might be one. Actually, yeah, I think it's right there, because I know some people kind of hard time trying to spot the nostril, but it's right in that corner inside this fenestra area, which you can see outlined right there. You can see the outline of the skull on this figure. The eyes are nicely sculpted in and nicely painted. Have like this very surprised expression on its face, so people probably could have been a bit larger to make it a little less cartoony in a way, but I mean it's fine. From further away, just a yellowish eye kind of brings out the sculpt a little bit more. The teeth are nicely sculpted as well. Nice teeth for chomping down vegetation. And the tongue is nicely sculpted, you can see there, with a nice glossy coat. And like I said about the Sinotyrannus, I liked how the gums in between the lips and the teeth are painted. Makes it a little bit more natural and not just having it one solid color. You can see this is where like the ear hole is. Moving down to this portion of the neck here, you got some nice wrinkle texture going on here. Same with this part of the neck, and just some nice rough texturing. And you get some more spikes up here on the neck and some larger ones starting to show up. And here at the bottom, just some more smoother texturing. And the neck, as it goes down, you get some more nice texture detail there, and some more spikes and bumps and osteoderms, whatever you call it. As I move on to the body, this is where it pretty much shines in sculpt, I guess, in terms of the bumps. So the body is very nicely sculpted here. You can see all this nice line texture. There isn't like a lot of skin or like scale pebbling, you know, like you see in reptiles or other dinosaurs. So it's really cool. Let's give it like a mammal, like I guess large herbivore, like an elephant type texture going on here, which looks really nice. You can see some of the muscles poking out here. Nice attention to detail. And then all of the body gets some really nice looking osteoderms poking out here. This is what Ampelosaurus was famous for having these large armor like bumps all over its body, which I'm not sure. I don't think there has been an actual complete skeleton that shows all these, so I don't exactly know where people have gotten this idea from. I'll have to recheck my Ampelosaurus facts, but this looks like a very awesome sauropod already. You can see very briefly a rib cage here and some more line vein work going on there. Taking a look at the leg, you got some tiny little osteoderms there on the shoulder, some nice slight muscle definition all the way through, and some nice texturing. And here you got the hands here, four-toed hands, which I think might have been at least like one claw instead of multiple, but can't say for sure. And on the bottom, we got some more rough texturing. Same with the bottom of the hind leg here, which you can see is a very nice, large, thick, and muscular sauropod leg that's usually seen in all sorts of reconstructions. So it looks really good. Brings the look of that hefty, strong animal build to it. So you got some nice muscle definition, nice sculpt work all over, and some nice scale work going on here with some larger osteoderms. So looking really nice. The toe claws as well as the hand claws could have been painted, but it's not going to take away a huge lot. It's not going to take away a lot from this figure, is what I was trying to say. Here at the bottom of the body, it's a more nice sculpt work going on there. So very nice, large, muscular body. And this looks like a hefty toy, but it's actually very, very light, which I guess kind of makes it easy to handle around. And you get some more bumps here towards the back end. And then some more sculpt work all throughout the tail. And you can see you get some more bumps throughout. So this sauropod is definitely decked out in all sorts of armor going on here. which I'll have to check to see where this animal lived. I had to see what enemies it had, to see if it was actually able to defend itself from all these giant or small carnivores it could have had in its environment. But you can see the same detail applies with the other side of the body. So yeah, a very nicely sculpted sauropod from Mattel. I think Mattel did a really nice job with this figure overall. So I'm very pleased about this figure. You got a scan code blended in right here a little bit with a spike, even though the brown plastic here is slightly lighter than the main body plastic, so it kind of is a bit of a distraction. At least on camera it is, but in person it's not as bad. But you can just lift it up like that, and there's your scan code. So this is the first time that I've seen, at least on this channel, we've had a scan code literally come out to like the side of the body instead of coming out from like the top. You know, that's what we're kind of used to. So it's very interesting there to see Mattel do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for detail. Looks really nice overall. Colors, the colors are nicely done on this one. Very nice choice of colors. The majority of the figures like this burnt orangish, lightish brown color, looking really nice. And you got like this darker brown designs that are on the back and then throughout the neck and pretty much the head. And you got like this lighter grayish tone around the eye, kind of brings out the head a little bit. And then you got a lighter cream-like color on the bottom jaw, and it kind of continues down the neck. It doesn't continue all the way down the belly. Would have been nice, but I mean, it's not gonna, like I said, take away from this figure looking cool. And the teeth and the gums are nicely painted, like I said before. Same with the eyes. So the colors work really well on this sauropod figure. And then, much like other Mattel dinosaurs, this dinosaur figure does have that Mattel marbling effect that they've been doing with all their figures, with adding in like another color of plastic within the main plastic mold. So this one's like a olive green, more like a maybe a little bit of brown in there. So you got some here towards the back end and here on the body, and you got some here on the legs, and you even got some on the bottom, and a little bit on this side, mostly on this leg. So I really like Mattel's marbling effect they do in these figures. It adds a lot more realism and I guess dirtiness to the animals, since they're like wild creatures living and out in nature. So yeah, the colors and sculpt are very nice on this Ampelosaurus. For articulation, it's only the legs. So for the arms here, they can move up about that far, and they can move back about that far, and that's pretty much it for that direction. And then they can even pivot in and out a little bit. So nice movement there. And the back legs can go up about that far, at least on mine, and can go up about that far. So not a whole lot of movement, but like I said, sauropods, you don't really need huge dynamic or dramatic poses for these dinosaurs. And the legs can also pivot in and out, which is a famous Mattel feature. But yeah, that's basically it for articulation. Just your normal four-legged herbivore articulation. Looks nice. Action features wise, everything is controlled with the tail. So this is what we've been seeing with at least the Yangchuanosaurus, because the other one was the Quetzalcoatlus, so that one didn't have a tail action feature. But the Sinotyrannus, the Yangchuanosaurus did. So everything is about the tail. So this is much like what we got during the Primal Attack toy line back in 2020. So first off, there's a button right here that if you press that, we get jaw articulation on another herbivore. We don't usually get a lot of jaw articulation on herbivores unless it's like a larger sauropod like the Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, and the Dreadnoughtus. And then obviously anything from the Hammond collection. But this is the first time we get this. Oh, and also the baby Brachiosaurus and the Marigai. I think those are the other herbivores that can move their mouths. But this is a cool little feature. You can make it like grab leaves and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And the tail, you can make the neck move wherever. You can make it move side to side. You can even move it down a little bit and up. So up and down. So nice movement. And you can even pair it with the jaw movements, which look really cool. So nice little action feature here. So moving on to comparisons, we'll start off with a human figure. Here we got Owen Grady. And I think they scale up very nicely together. It's always nice to get a sauropod that's not a giant brachiosaurus, but it's nice to get different variations of sauropod species of different sizes. Because we got the large ones like the brachiosaurus, then we got these smaller ones like the Amargasaurus and this guy. And then, I think we still need ones of the roar strikers or the medium-sized dinosaur size range, and as well as the ferocious pack size range. I think we need sauropods in all of those ranges to kind of give off a different diversity of different kinds of sauropods. So I think Ampelosaurus was a large sauropod, but not extremely large. So I think this size right here fits perfectly. But like I said, I'll have to check on that. I don't know a whole lot about Ampelosaurus. But yeah, that's it compared to a human. Next up, we'll just compare the Ampelosaurus with another sauropod in this size range, and that's the Amargasaurus, which again is another great figure overall. It's a very beautiful one. And yeah, I think they look very cool together. The scaling on these figures is really cool. It's great to see two different species of sauropods, I think belonging to different family groups, together in a Jurassic Park toy line. So it's very, very cool. And I really like this Amargasaurus. So everyone, that's pretty much it for this review. There's really not much else to go on the Ampelosaurus other than everything I just kind of went over. So yeah, I think that's really it. So for my final thoughts, this is a really great dinosaur figure, a nice new species introduced into the collection. And so new obscure species that is brought by Mattel. So Mattel, please keep up the good work with bringing in these all new species. But it's a really great figure. I love Ampelosaurus, how it's like an armored sauropod. That's very unique. I really like that. The colors are great. And just the details great, and the articulation and the action features are all great. I guess the only thing I really wish is maybe some painted toenails and possibly a longer tail. But other than that, this figure is a really solid one, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. So everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next review.